What's up, everybody? Welcome to the TMJFB Post Draft Power Rankings, Episode 4. Today we are ranking the 6th and 5th best team. We've gotten through half the league, and it's time to do the other half. If you're a sub, ready, if you want to see some insight to our league, welcome and enjoy. And if you're not, and you're just from the league, hey, cool, let's get into it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You get all the inside stories. You get it. So let's jump into it. All right, so I would do a recap, but I'm slowly forgetting what it was. Just kidding. Young Bucks, Nittany Tide, Dip City, Springfield, Country Strong, Midtown. Probably not what you have expected so far in the rankings, and we might continue to go that route. So let's do it. I am talked about Chad last time being higher than number 10, 9 or something like that. I don't think I've ranked you ever higher than 9, but this year is the year of West Coast Spartans. I really like what Chad has done with his team this year, and I'm putting him at number 6. And let's jump in to find out the reasons why I like this team so much. So, when we looked at the Young Bucks, we had talked about DJ LeMahieu. And when I did that, I had spanned over to Corey Seager and Suarez being, what is this, $11, right? And these two contracts, this one in particular, are so good. Like Corey Seager for under $7, I believe most people had said, like I said, I had him at 11, I had him at 12. Well, he got him for $7, guys. So that is just one of the best deals that was out there, and I absolutely love it. So to me, the reason you're so high right now is this. Get Robles out of there. It's this core right here. And of course, you know I love Dominic Smith. I really hope that he does play in the outfield. We'll see if that actually happens or not. If he doesn't, then that could be a problem, big problem. But between Madrigal and Solak and Jimenez, I think that one of them is going to be serviceable, playable, startable at second base. That I'm not really too worried about it. And of course, you make me look like a fool because I totally missed this guy right here. So obviously, now the team's even better than I thought. So maybe I should have put him at 5. Maybe I should start this whole thing over again. Nah, I'm not going to do that. So Ozzy obviously fits in at second base, and the team just got better. So the one downside, I suppose, that I don't like, but was helped a little bit, is the depth of starting pitching. So I actually really like his strat right here with getting kind of these just below tier guys. Kyle Hendricks and Patrick Corbin are kind of the tier 3, like upper tier 3 kind of guys, maybe bottom tier 2 guys. And all three of these, I think Marco Gonzalez is better than Tyler Mal. Is that how we said it? Mali, personally. So we'll see if that pans out. But these guys aren't horrible, and I think that they're gonna compete, and we know what we're gonna get out of them. Bench wise for pitching isn't great. We see Matthew Boyd and Lindblom, and it's not something that jumps out on the page. But I think that his hope is that he can kind of service some of these guys into that spot. Where the value is and why he's 6th, though, of course, is this hitting up in here. Juan Soto's a beast. The dude's a stud. Carlos Santana for $1.85 is a bit of a joke. I know I bashed him so hard last year, and he won me the World Series anyway. And so for me, this hitting, and that doesn't even include, like, Salvador Perez is ranked second as a catcher. So outside of first base, really, we have a pretty star-studded hitting lineup here that I think will really do well. No, there's not a superstar starting pitcher, but I mean, do we really have to have a superstar starting pitcher to have good starting pitching? I mean, we have 8 starters; they're only start once a week, most likely. And there's no guarantee that they're going to pitch well in that one week. Of course, having Bieber would be better, but I really like this group of 4. I don't think it's a stud. I don't think it's the greatest I've ever seen, but when I talked about like, I would put West Coast hitting probably number 3 overall, and their pitching behind that probably at like 8. So that jams together at number 6. So good relief pitching, always valuable. I don't love Rosenthal personally, but I think that he's going to be fine. I think he's back and he's pitching again, so that's good. So yeah, overall, I really like these deals that Chad was able to somehow gather, and the fact that he was able to do so just makes his offense so much better, and I feel like it's going to elevate him into a potential playoff team this year. I really like what Chad has done. I think he's soared and elevated over a couple of different teams. Number 5 is going to be Rhino World. And I had to do a double take on Ryan's team a couple of times now, actually, because initially I had Ryan at like number 2, and I was like, yes, Ryan's team is amazing, and I'm back, and I love it. I love every bit of it, and then I started digging in a little bit deeper, and I'm starting to see a potential problem here. So let's start at the hitting, because that's not really the problem. I like the hitting through and through. I think it's comparable with the top in the league. Stanton's going to have DH only, so that's going to be a kind of a weird thing to deal with. But at $3, the guy could hit 40 home runs easily without any problem. Um, right through here is all solid guys. They're not top guys. Turner is, obviously, but they're not top of the line hitters, but they're all good and serviceable guys. Good upside right here. I don't think Kyle Lewis. I'm kind of torn on Kyle Lewis, because initially I was like, this dude's an absolute stud. Now I'm kind of coming back and saying, well, he's probably going to come back down to earth a little bit, but that's fine. You have guys that can fill in for outfield. It's not that hard to find those guys, right? I mean, if he's struggling, I can't remember if J.D. Davis has outfield, but you got Justin Upton, that's fine. Gurriel, I think, is outfield. I mean, he's going to be fine out in the outfield. So hitting wise, I'm not concerned. In fact, I think it's one of the better in the league. It's going to keep him in most of the weeks. And then we get to the problem, I guess, is the pitching, and the depth and what I'm seeing here. And bear with me here. So available cap is nothing. He can't make any moves for the entire year. And he's banking on this idea that I can use my AAA, and basically I don't need to make moves, because I can just call a guy. Like, I have a ton of guys. I'm going to be able to have a team every week, like, no matter what. So it's not really that big of a deal for me to do this, right? And so that was the idea, and that I get that. That makes sense. We have Scherzer, Kershaw, and Strasburg. Cool. Okay. Some pretty heavy injury risk guys in there. In fact, Strasburg's already hurt, so that's concerning. Kershaw's had his back. Scherzer has all sorts of things at this point. Next, we get to Paxton, who's coming off an injury, so 4 straight off the bat injury concern guys. A couple that are already kind of hurt. Zach Davies, love or hate the $4. At least he's a solid pitcher that can pitch. I know that sounds weird, but it'll make more sense in a minute, because I want to jump down into the rest of this. Do we really know what we're going to get from Ohtani? It sounds like he's pitching well, but are you confident that Ohtani's going to be able to go a full season, and not get hurt and be a staple of this lineup? I am not. Mike Clevenger's obviously out for the year. Alex Reyes is in the bullpen. Casey Mize is going to pitch, but we have absolutely no idea what we're going to get. Big injury risk for me, and I think that I don't really see him breaking out yet. I think he's got an entire season still, and I don't think he's currently on Detroit's roster. I think he's going to pitch opening day and go, but I really don't see him being a stunner that gets 180, 190 innings. I think he's going to get capped. I think he's going to throw 140 or 150, kind of like Urias was the prior year, and I think Urias is also going to get capped like he has been. Why, leave Dustin May sitting there when that works so well? Urias comes in for 3 innings, and Dustin May comes in for 3 innings, and you basically have an elite starter out of 2 guys, so they're going to probably keep doing that. Kyle Freeland is okay. It's a healthy arm, so that's good. That's what Ryan needs right now. And then we go down here. John Lester is not good, and Porcello is not currently on a team. So, okay. So given all that, let that soak in for a second. And I'm just going to play a scenario with you, okay? I'm going to say Strasburg gets hurt, okay? James Paxton gets hurt. He's already hurt, right? So we have, here's my starters for that week then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have an injury, right? These 2 guys I'm saying are hurt. So I guess at this point I would have to start Urias. There's 6. Hopefully maybe one of them 2 starts, so that's 7. And then maybe an Ohtani, and if he's pitching. Do you feel comfortable with this? I don't. The depth is very scary, and that's assuming that like all four of these guys could go down. So okay, let's cut to the chase. Ryan's hitting is good. I like his hitting. Ryan's pitching is solid, but there is to me zero depth and zero cap and zero way out of it. So if there is an injury or two or three, imagine if these three guys don't play, Ryan's going to have 4 or 5 starts a week, and that's not going to win any ball games. So, like, I know people talked about this down here, and, like, yeah, that's great and all, but uh, honestly, I would rather just had another pitcher and or some cap, to be honest. I think Zach Veen is going to be good, but, I'm in a win now kind of state here, and I would rather have a pitcher than a situation where I'm going to have potentially 5 starts, because you're not going to win a week with 5 starts. So I've rambled on about this enough. I like Ryan's team. I got him at number 5. I thought about putting him lower just solely based on this issue on the bench. If Mize doesn't break out or Urias, I don't who's going to start, who's going to play here, who's going to actually get innings, especially if there's injuries. If there's an injury to this lineup, it could be all over, and there's no cap to back him up. Anyway, guys, that's the 6th and 5th ranked team. We got 4 left, and so hope you're enjoying, and we'll see you tomorrow.